my name is Carol Romero, and I'm going to be presenting today what I believe to be the best course of action for how to end modern slavery in our world. Now, when most people hear the word slavery, they think of something that ended in the Civil War. The reality is that's just not true. It's something that is very real and still happens to this day. In fact, there are more people enslaved today than there were in the entire history of the human race. This is made possible through things like internet black markets and because of corrupt local governments. I will be talking about how getting educated, not throwing money at the problem, and getting involved helps us end modern slavery. So first of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about the volunteer program that I'm a part of called International Justice Mission. Since they were founded in the 80s, they have rescued nearly 49,000 people out of slavery. They were founded by a man named Greg Hardin. He was a lawyer who helped lead the investigation in the Rwandan genocide. Through that experience, he learned that the opposite of poverty is not wealth, it's justice. It's making sure that people have access to the proper law enforcement and government officials that they need. When that's not happening, that's when slavery happens, and corruption and extreme poverty. So first I'd like to talk about getting educated. If you take a look at the world map, you can see the numbers of people estimated to be in slavery in each country. Obviously, these numbers aren't completely accurate because there's no way to truly track any legal trade. So these are just estimates. The countries in red you can see on the east are estimated to have 5 million or more people trapped in slavery. Now, you would guesstimate that maybe white means that we're in the clear, that America doesn't have to deal with this problem, when in reality, we're ranked third highest on the list. This is a real problem in our own country, where we brag about being a land of the free. So we need to be making sure that we're aware of these numbers and that this is happening in our country as well as others. You can see that this is very common in highly trafficked and touristic areas. Places such as Europe, the United States, and Latin America are dealing with heavy numbers of sex trafficking. Next are just some statistics about what trafficking does. 1/3 of victims are male, meaning that this is not a female or child-only abuse. This is happening to everyone, everywhere. This isn't a female issue, this is a human issue. Second of all, 27% are trafficked into labor exploitation. I'll go into a little bit more on that in a second. This one I think is the most important to realize and take note of. 47%. There's been a 47% increase in trafficking since 2012. This means that people are starting to figure out that this is a very lucrative trade and starting to take advantage of it. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about what the definitions and types of trafficking look like. According to this website, modern slavery is the illegal exploitation of people for personal or commercial gain. Victims are trapped into servitude, which they are deceived or coerced into and cannot leave. The key concept of trafficking is this word coercion. So these are the 4 types of trafficking. I'd like to talk about sexual exploitation first. This can be really easily confused with prostitution. The main difference, like I said earlier, is this word coercion. In the United States, pimps are known to attract emotionally vulnerable women, such as young teenage girls in the foster system. They target them, treat them really well, shower them with gifts, get them manipulated, get them on this hook. You need me, and after a while it feels like it makes the girl start to feel like, oh, I owe you something. After a while, the man will start to ask the girl for favors. Before she knows it, she's trapped into a web that she can't get out of. Also, she usually does not have the family or resources to get out of said situation. Forced labor is also another one. Criminal exploitation, domestic servitude. This is really common in India, where girls are sold to sell a family's debt. So if a family, the most common scenario is a father who has large gambling debts, will sell his youngest daughter because of the views of women in Indian culture, will sell her to pay off the debt. She is usually then forced into sexual exploitation or forced labor. In a way, these are all sorts of connected, but these are the 4 categories of ways people can be coerced into slavery. Now, you can't help an issue that you don't know exists. So getting educated on these points is vital to stopping modern slavery. Second of all, is not throwing money at the answer. Money is not the answer here. Throwing money at the problem is not going to solve it. An example I have of this is in Cambodia. IJM was extended an invitation to set up a field office there. After years of establishing personal relations with the government employees there, Cambodia was able to fix their corrupted government system and create their own program to fight sex trafficking. That was amazing, and we were actually asked to leave after a while because we were no longer needed. It wasn't that we were just throwing money at new programs from across the ocean. We took the time, went over there, and created intimate relationships. That's a key part of helping those who are trapped in slavery. There are times when money can even hurt. These people require professionals to get them out of their situation and help them rebuild. On the side of professionals, we're talking about psychologists, SWAT teams who are part of sting operations. All of those are funded by money, yes, but it's the people, it's the time that it takes that really makes a difference. Lastly, is getting involved. So now that I just talked about money, I'm going to ask you to donate money. The IJM offers an opportunity to be a freedom partner, which is people who commit to donating $25 a month to help fund the rescue missions and the psychologists that I previously mentioned. Now, there are also other ways that you can be involved in IJM. Second of all is you can do what I do, where their home office is in DC, but each individual city has a team of 8 or so employees or volunteers that help educate the public. They educate, help raise funds, and help people get involved. This takes a lot of time and energy and effort, but I believe it's all worth it, because if it means end of modern slavery, it's totally worth it. In all reality, these people need you. They need you to be educated in their situation. They need you to fund them, but they need you to also invest in them personally. These are the ways that I believe that we can help end sex trafficking. I believe that change is possible, and I invite you to join me in it. Thank you.